What is up? I think, let me see, I'm trying to get my Instagram up and going. There we go. Cool. I think I'm up. Yeah, think I'm up. All right. I should be able to hear everything. I think everything is looking good, right? Let's make sure my audio's on. Pop, pop, pop. Yep. Okay, cool. I think we're looking good. We're looking good, everyone. All right. All right, all right, all right, all right. Okay. So let me get into something real quick here. I'll be with you cats in a minute. I'm over here just setting everything up. I'm on a few places and whatnot. Okay, cool. All right. All right, all right. Anybody want to talk, just let me know. I'll be up for a little while. I want to talk about a few things that's going on and with projects and all kinds of stuff and with GainesCon as well. In fact, you know what? Let's get right to it, man. Let's get right to it because I am here uh, to share some things. You know what I mean? So let's see if I can share this. Some things you probably saw already, but you know what? If you follow me, if not, well, it's the first time you're gonna see it anyway. All right. So you see that, right? So, what is up, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. On the West Coast here, so everybody on the East Coast is probably sleeping. So by the time you get this, you probably go see probably a tape session if you watch it. And those that are on now or coming on later, appreciate you. Love you guys. Thank you very much. So, if you don't know who I am Barry Gaines. I am the CEO of GainesCon Media Incorporated, which does an annual action Film Festival every year here in Las Vegas at the Brenden Theatre at the Palms Hotel called, as you see on the side, GainesCon Action Film Festival. Yes, yes. We're a nonprofit organization designed to showcase, educate, and produce the work of aspiring filmmakers in underserved communities and beyond, whose content lies within the action, sci-fi, fantasy, or horror genre. This also is helped with workshops that we are developing. We did do one workshop already with this because we're getting it going, and we're going to have plenty more to come with industry professionals to come in to talk about the industry, for you to ask questions, also to participate in some activities as well in filmmaking and all many factors of creating when it comes to movie making. And being that this is really all about the action genre, even those sessions that we have is just about being a filmmaker in general. So even if you come to one of our workshops, it's about being a filmmaker in general. But predominantly, everyone's leaning more to action because there's a lot of things when it comes to those films. When you see a James Bond film, you see a Star Wars film, you see, something like Avatar or what have you, something exciting, Obsession, the back rooms, like all those thrillers, suspense, action, all those things. There's a lot of it's just it's a different process when you're making those as opposed to others. So we want to kind of lean on that. And I've made this because if people don't know, if you haven't followed me or know anything about me, you just seeing me for the first time, I created this because I've been making films, movies for a long time since I was 10 years old. Made a lot of indie, and I'm still an indie artist. Okay, I'm still an indie artist, and a lot of times when you make these films, when it comes to like really cool films, action thrillers or whatever, and you go to these film festivals and you don't get in. And a lot of times too, a lot of film festivals don't even accept them unless you're on a really high scale with your production. But they don't have the same requirements for those scales when you're doing something like drama or documentaries or rom-com. So a lot of times too, I look at it as unfair. And just to be quite honest, because it's out there and you guys know who you are and it's been around for a very, 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 very long time. And so we just have a kind of a certain amount of places to go to because to be in reality, when it comes to our films, everyone thinks it has to be like at such a high scale. It's really about the story, like anything else, like any story is about the story, right? Story, story, story. And action, sci-fi, and all that has a story too. Some are good, some are bad. Hey, listen, we get it. You know what I mean? So what I wanted to do is actually just create a space where you, as a creator, you as a action thriller, sci-fi lover, of a screenplay writer, a stuntman, a visual effects artist, something that you all, maybe you curate things, maybe you're a costume designer. everything that goes along within that faction of uh well, you could say, yeah, you could say in the genre area, we support. So whatever you are, man, we want you in. We want to see you guys. We want to just help you guys along, and that's what this is for. So you have a place, where like-minded individuals can come together and start world building, learn how to world build as well. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. And that's why I created GainesCon Film Festival here in Las Vegas. And being I'm in Las Vegas, there's a lot of great artists, a lot of talent, and it just inspires me to say, you know what, all this talent out here, and they don't have anything for this genre right here, that I want to give them a place where everyone can come together and just kind of, like I just said, world build, come together and just kind of start congregating, knowing each other, meeting new people. Maybe some people in town you didn't even know that was into it. They didn't even know that really had like a fire to kind of make something. And also too, to teach each other how to make these things with next to nothing. A lot of times the misconception is that you need a lot of money, that you need all this resources. Most of the time you don't. Not saying you don't, of course, depending on what you want to do, obviously. But really, when it comes to indies, you don't need that. There's too many ways now that we can get over. And if it's something you want something big to do, hey, listen, it's not just about the effects. It's not just about all the stunts. It's about your storytelling first. The stunts and the effects are great, but that's the icing on the cake. You got to make the cake first before you put the icing on. And the icing is the effects. Icing is can be sometimes the fight scenes or whatever, all that. But it really comes down to just that human quality of the film. And that's what makes us so great. See, what's so great about sci-fi action and just the thriller world, a couple of things. Number one, we are the ones that we can put all the other genres in it, right? We can put all the other genre in it and it still be that genre, right? But the other genres can't do that. But then think of it this way: you put all those other genres in it. Now, as a writer, as a creator, as a director, producer, you gotta make this story, right? Move ahead, linear, where people can understand it, and add all those elements and still make a cohesive story. If you put all those elements in it. And an example of that is Sinners. Look at what Ryan Coogler did. He put a little bit, he got some drama obviously in there. He got the horror in there. Yeah, we got a little romantic comedy. You can say a little comedy here and there, just a little bit, you know what I mean? And also he has some history on there, so you can throw that into look at a little documentary sprinkle, on there. So he had all of these elements. You had music in there, of course, So you got a little musical in there, So you had all these elements in there, and it still was a horror thriller, but with great character development, a great storyline that everyone can just understand and feel. That's the skill of writing. That's the skill when it comes to directing. And when you have to put all those elements in, that is why I love this genre so much, because it makes me touch all the other genres in some one way or the other, for me to either strengthen my storytelling, you know, f- just muscle, my storytelling muscle. And that's what everyone, that's what's so great about it. So much you can do to it. It's so deep, it's so dense, in elements that can make, that makes these films. So when you think about these films are not just people running around throwing lasers and shit. It's not that. It's a lot more deep. It's a lot deeper than that. And when you see a good one, hey, that means someone did a really good job. And this is why I love it so much, because when it comes down to talking about this, all the action, writers and directors and stuntmen and visual effects artists and all those guys, everyone can come in and say, yeah, I get it. This is how it's worked and it's fun. Now, listen, there's nothing wrong with the other genres. I'm not putting the other genres down. Please don't take that the wrong way, because we need the other genres just as storytelling. We just need it anyway. Drama number one is the base. You know what I mean? It's just that this is what it's just exciting to be in this world. You can just make anything, and I love the challenge of trying to convince you. You know what I mean? That this world that doesn't exist, these people who can never exist. Excuse me. A lot of times, where that I have to kind of make them relative, kind of relative to you. Like you have to care about them, just to put in simplest terms. My job is to make you care about them, and they don't exist. The place doesn't exist. Physically, things they do in physics doesn't even fucking exist. But the story's good and it's fun, it's exciting, it's intriguing, and I got your attention, and just for a little time, just for a little moment, I have you being able to escape into another world, learn new things. And that was what's so great about when it comes to this genre. And this is why I have this film festival now. There's a lot of people out there who have these, indie artists that have really good stories and they really just want to get a chance and they don't have a chance because what? They do a sci-fi film and it's not to a certain scale, and they're gonna be at that scale. It's about the story. Did you guys see the story? And that's what I do. I look at the story. And also, too, when it comes down to my GainesCon Film Festival, which is going to be this December 4th, by the way. I know I'm rambling off about everything about when it comes down to the movies and comes down to the genre and, what I love about it and what to do. But let me get you that we are going to have a film festival this year, December 4th and 5th. It's going to be our third one here in, yeah, our third one here in Las Vegas. I just started this nonprofit a few years ago, about 3 years now. I guess it's about 3 years now, right? So this is our third one. And we still trying to scale. We're still getting people to support us. And this is our third one here, a real, I mean, yeah, a third one. I'm like, wow, it goes fast, right? So December 4th and 5th, it's going to be at the Brenden Theatre in the Palms Hotel. Okay. Tickets are going to be available real soon. So look out for that. But in the meantime, we still have submissions open for your work. So you have an action, you have a sci-fi, you have a fantasy, you have a horror short of any sort. Please, we'd love to see it. If you're a screenwriter, go ahead. We have it opening for that. We'd love to hear it. If you're a composer and you love just making those big, badass, epic sounds for various, maybe you have them in other movies and you make that sound, we'd love to hear it. It's a contest for that. Now, when you submit this, all of this is really kind of gears to trying to win one of our trophies. And our trophy is called the Dragon Trophy. It's going to be either a red dragon, which is for Best Picture of the Year, and gold dragons for the other categories. And this dragon is actually an original dragon drawn up by my good friend in Ireland, David Jennings, who's an illustrator. Look him up. Incredible, incredible artist. He actually built this 3D all around, and now we create it, and it's all hand painted as well. So it all has its own unique little nuggets in there for every winner. You know what I mean? So we do have that for you to win. So every year you have a chance to win that. And also on top of that, we do have certificates for certain categories. So depending on what you enter, you have a chance to win that. And what makes us really different, let me tell you something. What makes GainesCon really different than the others is that when you submit your work, you will automatically put in, you automatically are, selected to be a winner in the category. Okay. You're already automatically nominated. All right. So you don't know who's going to win until the last day. And the last day is that's when we, when we actually announce the winners, and that can be you, and that's what's so great about us. So it's not one of these where, they cherry pick everybody and they say, okay, listen, you guys are good, you guys are bad, and here we go. No, I believe personally that's why I did that the way I do. It's because I really feel that everything that you guys do, every submission that comes through is important to me, and it should be nominated because you finished the damn thing. You completed the damn thing. And you did such a great job that I said yes to it. And now I want to showcase it. That's why you're automatically nominated, because I feel that if you got in, then you deserve that nomination as well. Now we're going to see who the winner is, at the last day, which will be on this year, be December 5th. All right. Now, when you submit yours and I accept it, right? Understand that I see all of them. So I'm the CEO. I'm in charge of everything here. So everything comes through me. So when I look at when you submit something, it's not some random cast of people that you'd never seen and never heard and never came across that's going to sit there and try to look at your film and decide on what your film is good or not for this festival, which is crazy sometimes because, listen, you know what? Everyone has their biases, okay? We are human beings. We have biases. And one thing you don't want to do is someone getting an action film and they're not really into action. They'd rather get into, like, they're more like a horror person. So they see a side, maybe they see just a straight action one. They're more horror. They may have, like, you know what? It's not that good. There's something about it. I want a little more, whatever. And sometimes it could be just fine, and it's just not fair. It's too many brains going on. There's too many issues. So what I like to do is my motto is to give everyone a chance from low, from like low end all the way to high end. And I want everyone in there. I want to give everyone as much as I can a chance. Now I can't get everyone in, of course. It's just the way it is. But for the most time, I really want to just kind of bring in as many people as I can, even if it's like really low grade, but I can see what you're trying to do. I can see the storyline. I think it's pretty good. I'll let it in. You know what I mean? So it's not, like I said, your movies are not being randomly watched by random people that you never saw before that supposedly has a title that many people in the world have. So your shit just could have been really good, but it came across somebody who maybe just doesn't lean too much on that action or that sci-fi or that horror part, or maybe they're looking for that and they're looking for a higher scale and they shouldn't be. That's why I don't do that. So all that goes through me. So you know that if it's accepted, it came to me. Now I do have my partners, of course, that are with my nonprofit, and we all take a look at it as well. But they take a look at it. They may look at now. Listen, they do look at it. They do. But when it comes to me, I look at it. So I know your stuff. I know all of your work. Doesn't matter if you wrote something, if you send you send a score for music, you sent in an action scene or whatever, or just the movie itself. I know it because it comes to me and I watch them all. So understand that when you meet me or you see me and or your stuff is accepted by me, it's accepted by me, man. That's it. So I'm the one. And I want you to know that because the model is important. I want people to have a freaking chance. Okay, I don't want anyone arbitrarily taking that chance away from you. That's not going to happen here. Okay, I'm going to see everything, and I want that because I know how it is. I am a independent filmmaker like you, bro. I'm an independent filmmaker for almost all my life, so I know the hardships. I know how it is out there. I know what it feels to say freaking no, or on top of that too, how it feels to wait for a film festival to come back to you, especially if it's months away. You know, you get those film festivals that are months away before you even know if you are selected. Mine, once it comes in, because this is for shorts, by the way. If I didn't say that in the beginning, my bad. But this is for short films under 40 minutes. When they come in, I usually watch them right away, and then I'll make my choice right away. I mean, a lot of times it could be the same day, because I understand why are you waiting for? Why do you have people waiting for? Either they're in or they're not. Either you watched or you didn't. Like I'm just pretty much really just plain and simple. This shit goes on just for theatrics a lot of times when it comes to this. I'm like, I got no time for play. I don't got times for games. And you don't have times for games either. You need to know whether or not you can make this festival depending where you are. You want time to know what to do if you do want to come in and join everybody for the festival. Not find out 2 weeks before and you're like, oh man, I can't make it over there, or yeah, I can't do it. I wish I knew, well ahead of time, and maybe I'd love to join everyone, in the festival. Well, mine is like that. Mine is not like that at all. Mine's like you're gonna know right away. So please go ahead to filmfreeway.com. Okay, you just go to my website. You can see the link there for submissions, and go to filmfreeway.com and submit your work today. I love to, can't wait for you to see it. And also too, since we're a nonprofit, we are always looking for support. So if you want to support a nonprofit in any way, just to provide the resources, just for to help us get with these workshops, just to kind of keep this train running, we'd love to hear from you however we can, financial wise, or if you have some type of hardware you want to donate during our workshops, we'll love to hear from you. If you're an expert in some type of field when it comes to filmmaking, action filmmaking, we'd love to hear from you too. And then we'll have a conversation to see if you fit or not. I'm just going to be quite honest, okay? We're going to see if you fit or not, because I want to make sure that when people come across GainesCon, when people are involved with GainesCon, and then people are here to represent GainesCon and everyone that is a part of GainesCon, especially you guys who are here to support us, we want to make sure everyone's on the same lane. Everyone's going down the same path, okay? Everyone's here for the same gain, and everyone's here to help each other out to kind of move forward, okay? In this field, okay? The other fields got their own now. We're going to have ours as well. This is not a game. This is not a joke. This is what we do. And a lot of people out there this need, as I know for myself, you just say, listen, this is what I want to do. I'm not concerned with this right now. This is what I love to do. Okay. You have people out there who love to do documentaries, and that's all they do. You have people out there who love to do romantic comedies, and they can care less about action. They can care less about thrillers. It's no different with us. You come to us and say, yeah, it's not my thing. I love it. I respect the art and everything else, but this is what I love to do. And hey, listen, you know what? And that's what we here for. This is what we here for. So I love doing this. I'm so happy and proud. I have the people behind me to help me do this action film festival, and call it GainesCon because it's our motto. You know what I mean? It's a motto that I really want to kind of push forward. And our goal is to scale as high as we possibly can, to help as many people as we can, and just help the next generation on really to move forward with this and say, hey, listen, this is how you do it, and this is what you do, whatever you're doing, you know, and always have the support there from all of us. You're always going to be part of the family once you're part with GainesCon. You come across our path and you start working with, now you're part of the family. That's how it works. You know, so this is a film festival for the people, all right? This is a film festival for the fucking people, for you. And this is what I made it for. And I wanted to just kind of just drill that in as much as I can right now. Now, I know I've been rambling about this for almost 20 minutes, but it's very, very important for me, to everyone out there, to know that GainesCon is not your regular film festival. We don't run things the same way. I've been to too many. A lot of them are this junk. I'm telling you right now, you got a lot of films out there sometimes that just make no sense to even be there. I want to make this something where you're not just coming to see films, but you coming to congregate. You coming to world build and help each other out, to build new stories together. This is what we're here to do. And also just to see some badass shit that you normally wouldn't see in other film festivals. Give people a chance, give people a safe space, give people a platform to show their work. And what's really a great thing about this, and that I do, you know, what I do with this is that now, when you are selected and your movie's being played during our event, it's being played in the movie theater where it should be. Of course, not a blanket with a projector. No, we're going to put you where you need to be because we respect your art that much. It's going to go in the theater. You're going to watch it in the theater. But not only are you going to have people watch it in the theater, you know, with you, but we're also going to live stream it as well through a company called EOFlix that we've been dealing with for the past 2 years and been really great. And EOFlix is going to run the whole event through their platform. They're a great company. They've been around for a few years. Check them out, EOFlix. It's a great incubating space of artists in general. Producers, directors, writers, you can go on, and everybody just puts their work in there. They'll list all of their, you know, their accolades, their information, their contact information. It's almost like a little IMDb, but you can actually get to people. You know what I mean? A little different than IMDb. You know, you can actually get to people, and everyone can see a movie and see everyone involved and go, oh man, I want to work with that person. I saw their work, and that's how it works. So EOFlix is where your work would be just for those 2 days streamed through there to get some more eyes, because a lot of times people are not in the country that submitted. So just to be fair to them, I want them to see the whole show, you know, no matter where they are. And that's why I'm doing it. Not just for the people sitting in the theater, but for also the people who submitted who are not here in the country or just can't make it, period, you know? So no matter where they are in the world. So that's what's so great about this one. And we love doing that. And people really appreciate that, because not only they can see it, they can actually share the link with their family, because we give you a link, you know, when you're part of us. And they can sit down with their family, and they can look at the show, and they can see their work being displayed live, you know? So we do that. And then that's a fun thing. I don't want GainesCon just to be a place you just kind of come watch movies and leave. No, it's a congregation, man. This is a coalition of action filmmakers from everywhere, and writers and stuntmen, everything, visual effects artists. You could go on and on and on. You know what I mean? We are here for you. So please go to filmfreeway.com, submit your work. If you want to work with us, please just look me up. Go to my website at GainesConMediaInc.org. Okay, GainesConMediaInc.org. And if you have problem getting to it, you shouldn't. Just pull up GainesCon on Google. We're everywhere. Just put in GainesCon. We're everywhere, you know? And sometimes, too, just one more thing before I move on to my next subject. And always, you know, when people ask sometime of like, hey, listen, what are you guys really all about? Like what is this kind of model about? The easiest way is think of it this way. You like Disney? Like Disney World? Yeah. You like Disney movies? Yeah, that's cool. Well, Disney's motto is just action, sci-fi, fantasy, and horror. Like that's their motto. That's all they deal with. You know, you can say, oh, they got some documentaries and things. No, they acquire companies to show that, but for themselves, they don't really deal with it. They deal with what you know they deal with, right? The cartoons, they shows, things like that. The Star Wars, they're action, sci-fi, fantasy, horror company model. That's their thing. That is what we support. That is what we do. Now, of course, we just don't do Disney stuff. I mean, we accept things from G all the way to R. So don't we're not the PG people all the time. We have G and everything else, and all the way to R. So you're going to have a nice array of shows to watch when you come to our event. And also, our event includes uh, interviews with industry professionals, directors, and producers during the event. Kind of breaks it up a little bit. And at the same time, we also have music as well every year by Husband and Wife Group, which is a great R&B group, and they call Affliction. Check them out. Okay, Dave and Sarah, what's up? Much love you guys. And also too, we give out we give it we and which is really big. You don't see it as much. Is that we have someone there interviewing you live online, okay? Not just interviewing you and recording them on their phone or whatever. We actually have a gentleman sitting down, and his name is Don Terrell. Look him up on LinkedIn. That's my dog. Yo, Don, what's up, baby? Love you. He comes down and he interviews everyone there. That's including artists and people. So it's going to be a great time this year, and we hope to see you and listen out for further information. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is my film. So, like I said, I'm a writer and director as well. I have two full-length features on Tubi, Apple TV, and Amazon, and various other streaming platforms, including Plex. And just look up my name, Barry Gaines, and my movies are called A World of Worlds. So, world singular, worlds plural. So a world of worlds, and there's two of them, part one, part two, with an incredible cast that we got together, and it took us about 4.5 years to do everything. You know, it's kind of tough to kind of get everyone together at the same time to do certain things. You know, money issues, time issues, things happen. You know, and it just took us a while, and we did it, and we completed it with hardly any money at all. We just went for it. We just got a camera and got some stuff, bought some clothes and stuff, and then we just went for it and was able to get a distribution deal, actually two of them. And we, won about 7 awards around the world, including one in Japan and one in Europe, and then a couple here in the United States. So when you look at World of Worlds, that's what we done. That's what we have done, and that's what I'm saying. I'm an independent filmmaker just like you. But right now, we're going to be venturing into another story, which is called The Guild, and The Guild is a vampires and werewolves. Ah, love it, love it. You know, so that's my new venture. That's my new film that I'm working on right now. And this past Saturday, here in Las Vegas, I just moved here about 12 months. Well, wow, it's about 12 months now. Wow, already. When I think about it, right? From last year, and my wife and I. And maybe a couple months ago, I started to really kind of say, listen, I really want to get this story off the ground, and met some great people here in Las Vegas. It's such a great town. People are beautiful and nice, approachable, supportive, and very talented. And so I got some of these talented individuals, and some of my legacy guys, my main guys from A World of Worlds, and we filmed on Saturday on a rooftop of a building that is in the process of building a studio. They call Optics Studio. So I want to say big shout out to Optics out there for allowing us to film on there. And we filmed on the roof on the 4th of July, which was a banger. You know what I mean? So, and it was about a vampire fighting another monster. And just to have the effects in the back while these guys are running to each other, fighting, it was just like a cool, epic scene. So you'll see it. We had a rush at the moment and try to get as much as we can because, the fireworks weren't on as long as they normally are every year, as it was told to me, by the locals here. And we had a great time. So I want to give a shout out to the crew that came out and the actors that helped me put this first part of the guild together. I want to say a shout out to Sean Francis out there. That's my dog and whatnot. Shout out to Chase Eastman, who played the monster in there. And then shout out to Xavier Belver, who helped me with the slate. My man Johannes Molina out there working out with my first AD. My man Keith Sensing is our boom operator for that evening. Loved it. Yo, thank you very, very much. And then also we had Anthony Stone, who's also a boom operator, and other things as well when it comes to film production. He came on board and helped us out. And then I want to get a big shout out to the engineer of Optics Studios. His name is Tyson. Yo, big up to Tyson and his crew that were there to help us out, to make sure that we didn't kill ourselves. Because we had to like climb up a ladder and whatnot on the roof on the outside. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, it's a little high there. But we did it. You know what I mean? We climbed up, climbed down, climbed up, film, climbed down, and we were good. So had a great, great time this past Saturday. It was a beautiful night. I know that the film gods blessed us with a nice evening. I mean, there was no rain. It's Vegas, so that's not a big deal, I know. But it wasn't very hot up there. Had like a little breeze. The only thing we had was these helicopters going over our head every 2 minutes. That had a problem. That was a problem for us, when it comes to dialogue. So otherwise, it was a beautiful night, great night. Got everything that we needed. And right now, I'm in the post to kind of put all this together. The effects are going to be done by the gentleman who did my effects in my other films. So you can check those out. And that's a couple years older now. And I know the effects are going to be better now this year. And his name is Prakash Kamarajan. He has a company called Wild Effects. So if you need visual effects of any sort, of any scale, he's the guy to go to. So he's going to be working on this movie as well. Now, to tell you a little bit about what I'm doing with this movie, like I said, the movie is called The Guild. Now, the feature is called The Guild that I'm writing, okay, and directing and producing. And I do all that as well. Just to let you know, I do write, I do direct, I do the camera operating, I do the editing, I do the casting, and I also do the wardrobe until I can get a seamstress. But right now, I look out for the wardrobe, and I buy the wardrobe, put it together, and we'll work it out, and get some things hemmed up or whatever. But pretty much, yeah, that's what I do. So I pretty much do everything to make sure that the vision is where it needs to go. Anyway, as an indie filmmaker, you better do everything. You really do. You need to do everything. It just helps out the process, and it helps your vision to be on a straight and narrow and to get what you exactly want, and then you worry about all of the other parts if you can't do some things later on. But if you don't learn it, I just say that if you're a director, my big thing about that is if you're a director, you better know how to freaking edit. You really do. And if you don't learn it, it's no excuse. None. There's too many NLEs out there that you can use. Obviously, you have free ones out there like DaVinci. And if you're a Mac user, of course, now you have a subscription for Final Cut Pro, which is one of the easiest NLEs to use. Productions always use that in as well. And of course, your famous, Adobe Premiere. So pick your poison. But when you know how to edit, just putting things together and whatever, it's easy. You don't have to wait for people. You don't have to describe. Anyway, as a filmmaker, you should know that. I'm just saying that's just me. You get a better product when you actually know how to edit yourself. And then when you do get the money for a budget and you need to get an editor because, for other reasons, now you know why you're paying them. So these are things I just, as a filmmaker, independent filmmaker, over many years that I've done it, you realize one thing is that you want to know as much as you can before you start paying for people for things that you have no idea why you're paying them for. Not saying that you're the best at all those, and because you touched it. At least you got to touch it a little bit, but at least you know. It's just a business. It's just a business deal that you have to make with yourself. You really do. Make that business deal with yourself. This is what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. But all in all, to get back to the Guild, so the Guild is, like I said, it's a whole story about vampires and werewolves. And there are vampires with special abilities as well as werewolves. And before we can do the whole story, like this feature, just to start, because of budgetary reasons, I'm going to start with little, like, tiny shorts just to introduce the characters. And that's what we're doing. And this past 4th of July, we did that. Also give a shout out to Miss Uvia Giacomin and also my man Ronnie Long, who participated in this short as well. So much love to them. Love you guys. Yo, thanks a lot. Appreciate that. You know what I mean? We're going to do a lot together. So let's get ready. But yes, so see this? I'm naming off people, man. I just met these people are good people. It's just great, and it's a blessing that people are coming along, seeing the vision, being happy and being excited about the vision, and just want to see how it's going to kind of build up. That's my job. But they just love the idea, and it's great just to have the support, and I support them as well because they're filmmakers as well. So when they need help, I'm there as well. So we all help each other out, man. That's what it's all about. Same thing with the GainesCon. That's what I'm saying. It all kind of blends in together. I'm a filmmaker. I help others out. Others help me out. We go to get the GainesCon that I do every year. Everyone helping each other, help world build, have industry professionals come in to speak to you, to help you. All that's going in, and we want to scale to get more and more and more people and have and provide more and more service for GainesCon. But going back to the guild, yes. So now we finished the one short, and we got a few more shorts to do. So I will be looking for some people out there to participate. So don't be surprised if I'll jump into your Instagram DMs and go, hey, listen, I saw something about you, but wow, you want to talk about it, And we're going to do that. It's going to be some badass shows. Trust me. The ideas about how this whole world is going to work it's going to be sweet, and it's not going to be anything simple at all. Just think of it as Game of Thrones and Underworld. Think of it that. So that's the combination of what the guild's about. And then when I put this first one together, which is called the Vampire Ven, he's one of the gifted bloods, what I call the vampires with special abilities. They're called the gifted bloods. And then the werewolves with special abilities are called the Knights of the Moon. So the first one, like I just said, the Vampire Ven, is introduce his character and his ability, and it's to show his side and what the world's going to look like, because I just kind of created a whole new world. The world has like a cyberpunk type of feel to it. It's like just another place, It's Earth, of course, but it's just like another place, and it has a lot to do. You're going to hit everything. You're going to hit love. You're going to, and one great thing about this, and I'm really excited about, is that I really want to kind of keep true to much of the vampire and werewolf lore. And that comes with a lot of things. So this is why this film is going to be a hard R, if not NR, because I'm not pulling back. I'm going to show you, this is the lore of vampires, consists of many things: blood and sex just an array of feelings going on with that, and history with them, and all that stuff, and fighting and all bunch of stuff. So that's involved. That's all going to be there. Same thing as werewolves. And I really want to kind of throw it all in there, This is why I became like a fan of a new director. I can't say he's new, but he's not as old as James Cameron or Steven Spielberg, but like Robert Eggers, I mean, I'm a big fan of him because I love his films, because his films are just straight to the vein, man, straight to the core. If it's about the Northman, he's coming right to you. Ain't nothing fun about that. He's doing Nosferatu that he did last year, straight to the vein, nothing funny about that. And the reason I bring that up, because, if you do a film and it's about, say, a certain subject, you don't need to put in levity. Don't force it, because it looks terrible. Half the time when people try to put levity in some shit that's not really, don't need it, it's not really called for, it just looks terrible. Don't be afraid to be serious. Stop being fucking afraid to be freaking serious. If you're serious, be serious. That's it. You don't have to worry about freaking throwing a joke in there. Because most of the time when you see these movies or whatever, and people try to throw a joke in there, half the time it fucking doesn't land. It's those jokes that are just organically come out, maybe during the process of the film, or maybe just by the actor's way of doing the character. If it comes organically and it works that way, then fine, and usually those hit. But if you just stop in the middle of the screenplay and say, you know what, we need to put something funny here, it's horrible. So if you're someone out there who does that or thinks about that, just let you know right now, it's corny and it's whack. Stop it. If you have something serious and you going balls to the wall on something, you go fucking balls to the wall on it. That is why, just to say, I'm a big fan of Robert Eggers now, because Robert Eggers is like that. You go see Nosferatu, ain't nothing funny about that. Ain't one fucking joke in there. There's no reason for it. You got this freaking monster trying to kill you. What the hell are you gonna laugh for? You know what I mean? That's what gets you in it. You know what I mean? So, certain movies, of course, and certain subject matters, can play both. Many do that. That's cool. That's cool, and it works and it lands. But you know what I'm talking about? Those that really don't need to put it in there, and they try to put it in there because they're feeling they're going to hurt someone's feelings. You know what? That's a fucking you problem, and it kills the whole momentum. So, as just to let you know, I'm just one of those guys. You know, that's just a me thing, all right? It's just me, all right? Everyone has their own thing. I get it. But for me, yo, whatever your story is worry about your freaking story and tell your story. And that is what we're going to love. We're not going to love about, we don't, what we don't love. And I know you don't like it either when you see shit forced in. And you know, like, why is that there? They force in stuff, they force stuff in the story. Don't do that. As a writer, as a director, in the process, and you see something and you feel, oh, maybe it's getting too serious, or maybe we should, no, just tell the freaking story and you're fine. And we'll love you for it. And we'll watch it. And we'll pay you to see it. That's it. I'm not going to pay you to see some shit that you just do together. And it makes no sense. And you won't get paid. And you got to figure, even the big guys do it all the time, right? You see, that's why a lot of times you see more bad movies than there are good. And the good ones really stand out because those people just get it. You know, it's like, hey, yeah, there's something funny about this. We're going to give you this. If you guys saw Backrooms, right, this year, where's the funny? There's no reason for funny. It's freaking horrifying. It's like, yo, it's crazy. People have their own personal problems. They go into a place. The place itself sometimes can make you smile. It's just because of the situation. You know, it's not because they're trying to make you laugh. It's just the situation that came about, and that's an organic comedy. If it comes in an organic moment of levity, that's big. An organic moment of levity is big. That lands. You know. So, anyway, that's my thing. So my movie, The Guild, is like that. I'm just straight to the vein. You know, if it happens, cool, but throw it in there. If it just comes out like, sure, this won't be, this will probably be fine, but I'm not looking for it. Because if you looked at Underworld, was it funny? Was it really that funny? No, because my man was like, yo, listen, it's about vampires. We got shit to do. And it's not a good day or no a good week for us. And we're going to give you great entertainment. Great entertainment. And they did. Game of Thrones, yeah, you had some in there. But most of the time, what was it? Most of the time it was great, straight to the vein. Straight to like, yo, this is what we're going to do. We're not even going to cut it. It's going to go straight to you. You know what I mean? Every now and then, of course, you have some fun stuff in there like that. But, you know, that's just because of the series. But all in all, you know, that's the kind of storyteller I am. And I just want to say I'm very proud, so happy to have done this with a great cast this past weekend. It was a beautiful time. It was one of those rare moments that when I got home, and I would say when I was driving home from the set and I'm thinking about it, you know how you go through in your head. You know how it is, guys. You go through shit in your head and everything else, looking for the bad and the good. Mostly the bad. You're like, what did I do wrong? Whatever. But you know what? I felt like I was on cloud nine. I was just driving smooth. I felt like, wow, this is like a really, really great day. Everything went really, really smooth. And the vibe was great. Everyone there was just hitting on all cylinders. And we were there doing it for a while on the roof of the Optic Studios. And I want to give a shout out to, of course, the person who made it possible for us to even be there, which is Mr. Chris Reese. What's up, Chris? Thank you very much for the support. Chris Reese is the owner of Optic Studio that's now still in building mode. It should be up and running hopefully by, I guess by the end of summer or something, or maybe a little before the end of summer. I say this summer sometime. So I really don't know, so I can't say. I'm just saying I think it is, whatever. But do look him up. Keep an eye out. It's not open yet, but do keep an eye out. And he's here to support all the artists in Las Vegas, and we appreciate that. He's going to have an LED space. So if you need that, that's going to be there. So keep an eye out. And I don't think there's a place right now in Las Vegas. I could be wrong, but I don't believe there's one right now that has an LED display wall, that they use in Mandalorian. I don't believe they have one here anymore. I think one left. So he's going to be the only one. So if you need one, just wait. It's coming. It's coming. So, but anyway, guys, I just want to say, I just want to get online and just kind of give you an update. I'm not on this all the time. I know I should be, yes. But there's so many things I'm doing. I just don't have some time just to sit here and chat with everyone. And I should, because I really want to kind of inform everyone what's going on, especially on my side, what I'm doing, because I'm really trying to just grow and scale and have people with me that are working too to help scale. GainesCon to the next level, as well as, of course, assisting me in my films as I assist them in their films and their ventures. We all work together. So, yeah, we have a lot of work to do. There's a lot of work to do. And we just hope that you guys stay tuned and listen up for, functions that we're going to be doing and just ideas, just things that we want to do. So it's going to be fun, and it's about the people. It's just about the people, man. It's about you guys. It's about all of us just building up, growing together. Just remember that it's about the artists helping each other's artists. You know what I mean? But do what you want to do. I just want to say this real quick. Let me get into a little soapbox real quick. Just give me a couple minutes. If you made it this long, you still listen to me. Thank you, guys. Thank you. But I do want to say this: whatever you want to do, please, guys. Artists. We get sensitive. We got our ways. We're a little crazy sometimes, right? Because we're artists. That's why we could build such great things because our head just works differently. We look through a different lens. So, but as all that goes, if there's something that you want to do and you have an idea, you're not sure, but you feel comfortable with the people to do it, do it. You're not going to be here forever. Understand that. And maybe a little morbid, guys, and maybe a little morbid, but it's true. He's not going to be here forever. And you want to experience life. And especially when it comes to actors, acting is about life. Like, as you go through your acting career, you are experiencing things outside the production, right? And those experiences outside any production is what you bring in. That's your muscle. You don't build from in, you build from outside in. So every time that you live another day, go through another experience with family or friends or whatever, that experience now has given you more muscle. So for your next role, you're bringing that experience to that role, and that's what's making you brilliant. I should say more brilliant and deeper and more of an understanding of what's going on. And then when a director or I say a story comes along with these characters going to different directions, the more experience you personally have in life, things you've gone through, the more you can bring and more open to understanding you can be for not just the character, but for everyone around you who's going to be working with you. It just makes you a more complete performer. So live a little, live. Don't stay home and just watch this read scripts all day. Get out there, live a little, eat some ice cream, go on vacation, go out with somebody, have fun, live life. You are an actor. This is for actors, by the way, guys. It's just for actors right now. You are an actor. We entrust you guys to understand the nuances of life in certain situations. Not saying you're going to learn everything, of course. I'm not saying that. Of course, you don't know everything. You know what I mean? But, there are essential things about certain characters that if you experience certain things, you can bring to the table and showcase that. And then when the world sees it, there are going to be a lot of people out there that can relate to it because they know, I know what that feels like because I'm living that for real. And if you went through it and you're bringing it to the theater, I mean, you're bringing it to your character, then yeah, that's what brings people in because they can see it in your eyes. They can see you actually went through this, and now you're just delegating it through your character. You're telling it, hey, we got to do this. It's the way I look at it, but it is. So actors out there live. That's what it is, and that goes for writers. That goes for a lot of us, even directors like myself. You know what I mean? So directors like myself, I try to do as much as I can, all kinds of things. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to deal with a whole lot of different personalities anyway, being an actor. You know what I mean? Actors are going to have the same thing. We're all going to deal with a whole bunch of personalities. So the more experience we have out there, the easier it is going to be for two things. Number one, who you can work with and you want to work with. And number two, how to deal with certain people at a certain time. It just gives you a little bit of ammo, when it comes to these things. But like I said, I really want you, if it's something that you want to do, you do it, okay? And give it a freaking shot. You can always say, I gave it a shot. I liked it. I didn't like this, but you gave it a shot. Experience is everything, And whatever you want to do, you freaking do it. Don't worry about what anyone thinks. All right, the world is a really big place, so don't worry about it. Whatever you do is because you want to do it. All right. So you want to try some action, you want to try a romantic comedy, you want to try filming a freaking documentary, then freaking do it. You know what I mean? See if you like it. See if you like the process. You may fucking fall in love with it. You know, and you may say something not that bad. There's people out there who are afraid of nudity or something, or they're afraid to climb a rope or be on a string or something like that. But if you're around people that you feel comfortable with, then give it a shot. See if you like it, you know, because it's all about the storylines, about what you can perform. We are performers, guys. I always understand this. As a creator, we perform, we entertain. That is what we do, you know, and people sit and pay for the entertainment to bring them someplace or provide some type of education within a storyline or whatever. That is what they're paying you for. This is what we provide. We take them to places they either can't go or too afraid to go or just simply want to experience. And that is what we provide. So just to go back to what I just said before, the more experiences you have, the more you can bring to the characters and the more we can make some great cinema history. You know what I mean? And speaking of cinema, I'm a cinema guy, all right? Cinema is everything. I love movies. I fucking love movies. And I love big movies. I love movies that could just bring me somewhere else. Movies that I know that's just, man, that was probably really tough to do and they did it and they accomplished it. And you can see the actors went through so much to kind of pull everything they had out of themselves and throw it on the screen. Like, I love that shit. You know what I mean? I can see the director and the producers, the writers, the prep was intense and it took a long time and they finally got it through and they completed that shit. Love that. That's why I love big films and I love cinema, because cinema is what just brings you in. And when you go to a theater, theater is the way to go. When you see those huge images on the big screen and you hear this big fucking sound system that you can never have in your house unless you're a freaking millionaire, and even then it's going to be an issue, you know, that you just sit there and go, man, they did all this work for us to entertain us, you know, thousands of hours to create a product that we can all go to and experience. And you know what? And product that actually inspire us to do other things. Like the action, sci-fi, fantasy, horror crowd, the genre crowd, which is the biggest probably crowd in the world, to tell you the truth, right? You know, those are the movies that inspired me when I was a kid. That inspired most people when they're young. It's not a documentary. It's not a love story. It's not a romantic comedy, to be honest. When you're 10, 11, 12 years old, man or woman, girl or boy, what really catches your eye is the adventure. It's the adventure movies. Because the adventure movies, the horror movies, the action movies, the sci-fi films, horror movies, what we bring to the table with this is this. We always are forefront with this. Good versus evil, for the most part. Good versus evil. How to be persistent, believe in yourself, bring others along, help your fellow man, and always never give up. Never give up. And always understand that good is always going to conquer evil, like I said before. That is what we represent. Think about it. That's all we represent half the time. Avatar, James Bond movies. You can go to Star Wars films. You can go on and on and on. You know, I mean, so when you look at these things, most of the time, that's what we represent. And when you're younger, we're the movies, we're the genre that inspires the next generation. Now, when they get older, they can go wherever path they're going to go to, yes, but we're the ones that spark it. Because that's the thing that say, yo, that's adventurous. That's amazing. That looks beautiful. Look at the diamonds and the jewels, and look at the pyramids. Oh my God, they went these places, and wow, they're riding these horses so fast, and oh my God, they're hanging off the cliffs, and oh man, that's right, the good guy wins, and oh my God, they fell in love, and that's movies, man. That's action films. That's cinema. That's fucking cinema. That's what brings you in, bro. It can make it sound corny all you want, but if you're a movie lover, it's nothing like going to the cinema and just seeing it and just being in your own world. And just having a place too. I'm a big cinema guy, man. You got to go to the movies. Like, I'm a big movie guy. I go to movies every week. to sit there in a room when everyone is concentrating on the same spot. No one's looking at their phones. Well, not all the time, but you know what I mean with that. But everyone's there for one reason only, to see that film, to concentrate on those performances and those actors, this entire storyline. And you as a creator, you as an actor, producer, director, whatever, don't you want that? And don't you want just people to just see your work? And if they do, when they do see your work, see it on the best possible medium that you can, because I'm quite sure you put a lot of work into your project, sound design, visuals, the actors, just putting it all together, the editing, everything. And you put so much into it. You want the world to see what you did, and the theater does that. So don't diminish theaters, guys out there. Stop diminishing the theaters. Everything else is just another avenue to see other things on your phone or what have you, your verticals and all these other things. That's fine and dandy, that's cool, but nothing's going to beat cinema, because cinema brings you to a place that others can't. Just that feeling. And all the work that people went to put that together, trust me, they didn't put it on, they didn't do all that work for you to look it in your hand. They did that work for you to experience in a theater, an auditorium with beautiful sound and beautiful fucking visuals. All that work goes into. The cinematographers don't sit there for fucking hours and hours and days and just test and make sure that look is pristine for you. That art, it's an art. You know what I mean? And you don't want to diminish or insult your fellow artists by just throwing it to the side and saying, I'll watch it any old way. You know, it's just, you know, it's not the way to go. And that's my personal thought on this. Anyway, I've been on here for a little while. Anyone out there who watches this, I appreciate the time. Thank you very much for watching everything I'm saying and everything. You have any questions or anything about GainesCon coming up, or even my film that I'm doing right now, do reach out to me. And I want to close out by saying a big shout out to my fellow GainesCon crew. What up to my man Justin Green, who became our director of marketing right now, and my girl Kristen Kittle, who's been with me for like 10 years. And she is our chief treasury officer, and then my CFO, who's helping me kind of navigate through all this nonprofit life and everything, the do's and the don'ts to help me kind of get this going. That's going to be Anise Jackson. She is a certified CFO. So yeah, we got some good people and other people that are with us. And a big shout out to my stepmother, who's helped fund us and helped get us going. And other people who have, you know, donated and contributed their time. Big up to Scott Windhauser for, you know, allowing us to pick his brain about the industry, because he's a Hollywood action director himself and writer. And you've seen plenty of his films. I'm quite sure you did. So yeah. And then big shout out to my music artists who come every year, Affliction, Dave and Sarah. Love you guys. You guys are fucking awesome. And can't wait for people to see you. And my man, Don Terrell, who's there just to kind of expose everyone there and give everyone their flowers. You know what I mean? And make sure that people know and see them everywhere as much as he can. And just want to say to everyone out there, to all of you creators out there, keep doing, keep pushing, keep moving forward, and do what you want to do. Do not ever compromise. We see right through it because you see right through it as well, right? So you don't want people looking at you that way. Do what your heart says. Only do it. Oh, and one other thing. If you are an artist and you have a lot of things going, respect the time you are with the company you're with at the time. And what I mean by that, it may sound a little jumbled there, but what I mean is that don't go on the set or at a time and say, oh, I got to be out of here at 9:30, knowing if it's going to be a longer set or a longer time. You know, of course, we always say, hey, listen, it should take no more to this. This is what we're going to shoot for, but, you know, we may go over a little bit. But don't come on and say, yo, yeah, I got to be out at 9:30, whatever. Something like that to me, I'm like, yeah, you know what? You ain't going to work, because that means that you're all over the place. You can't commit to anything. And if it gets any bigger, you're going to be a mess. If you can't do it now, you're not going to be able to do it when you get bigger. So you know what? No more of that. So if you are one of those guys out there, one of those people out there that does that, trust me, I see you, and I can't fuck with you with that, you know, or you're going to be limited. Because if you come to the set, everyone should come to any of the set. If you one of those people, I'm going to say this. If you come on a set and you giving the time up to someone. Now, if you already made plans on that, that's different. But at the same time, we really don't want to hear that because it's not fair to everyone else who's there, who put time away, who put time aside, knowing that they're going to work on something for a while. It may go over, not crazy. You don't want to go crazy over. We're going to be within reason. But things come out. We start late. Sometimes it's a little. You want the day. You want to give them the day. But you come out your face and saying, yeah, I got to be home because of whatever. If it's not a bunch of kids that you have to take care of, and you didn't talk this over with the director already or the producer, whoever's going to be in charge of like setting everything together for that day, then you know what? That's disrespecting the directors, disrespecting everyone on set who's willing to be there until it is done, because you may not be able to do it again. So if you're that kind of person and I come across from you, trust me, I'll tell you right now, up front, right now, once I hear that at your mouth, I know exactly where I need to do. Like if you can't do it now, that means you're all over the place. Understand one thing. You having a lot of things, it's not making you look better. You having a lot of things doesn't make it look smarter. And you having a lot of things doesn't mean that you really are busy and you're getting shit done. It just means you're all over the place. You have no focus. I mean, you're focusing so much, you can never put 100% into one thing. Everything is a little bit. So you have a backyard of unfinished shit, or you have a backyard of little things that doesn't add up to much of nothing. I'm just telling you the truth. Seen it all the time. When I worked for the record company, it was the same way. You see it in the film, the same way. And all the artists out there who bust their ass to make sure they complete their work no matter what, those are the ones that you have to respect that. And those are the ones that you disrespect. So if you do that, I'm just saying right now, I'm telling you that right now. Once I hear that, oh, I gotta be I gotta, you're done. I'm like, okay, I know what to do with you. So understand, we may not say it, we'll say it to you, but this is really big on me. If you are that person, it gets to my crawl because I've dealt with that before in the past, and it doesn't work well because it just disrespects everyone behind you in the production. Because what they're going to say? Think about what they're going to say. Oh, why are you giving this person? Or why? Oh, they're going to have to leave me. You good with that? And we over here trying to, you know what I mean? So if you're one of those individuals, if you hear me now, and you know who you are. Trust me, when I hear that, I make adjustments. Or something happens, or I'll talk to you later. But once I hear that, I'm like, you're done. I've done it too long. Done it too long. Those out there who don't do it, who say, listen, when you have me for the day, you got me for the day. I'll worry about other things later. If I have to do something, I'll talk about that way in advance so everyone knows, and that's cool. But those that are ready to come on set, they're not worrying about it, and they want to finish the work and make something great together because they know they only have one day to do it or one time to do it. Those are your ride or dies. Those is what you filter out and say, you come with me. You guys, I call whenever I can, whenever I need something on the side. But just understand that. Always understand that. You being busy does not make you look smarter. You being busy does not make you look like you focus. It just makes it looks like you're a little bit of everything and you can't commit to anything and you're all over the place and I can't trust you. I just can't trust you. And I'm not going to let you disrespect everyone here on the set that's actually ready to do the work and finish whatever they can while they can. So yeah, it's a big deal on me. I know you get a little crazy on it, but you know what? You should see a little crazy. We're freaking artists. You should see a little crazy. You should be a little mad. And that's how I am because as a director, as a writer, someone who's in charge of productions of mine, that I do, I make sure that everyone is respected. I make sure everybody is supposed to do what they're supposed to do, and no one is going to come between everyone's work, and no one's going to compromise the times. That's a big deal. And I think in directors out there, writers out there, artists out there, you know what I'm talking about. And I know a lot of them are saying their head going this. Yes, yes, I've seen it. Yes, yes. Yeah, we know who you are. Yeah, we know. So I'm just letting you know now. You being real busy and going on sets or working out with someone and giving people these ultimatums and these little tiny times, it's not a good look. So, anyway, but all in all, as an artist, we got a lot to do, guys. It's a lot to do out there. And I just want to say, love all of you. Keep on pushing. And I look forward to working with many of you out there. And let's make something special. Let's go out there and just not only make something special, help others out there to go further up and let's scale ourselves and let's tell the world who we are and what we can do. So any questions, let me know. GainesCon this December 4th and 5th at the Brenden Theatre in the Palms Hotel. Also, my short film they're coming along right now for the bigger film, The Guild. Be interested, hit me up. We see what's up. We see if it fit or not. Just be honest. I'll interview you, see what's up. If I say nah, if I say yeah, whatever. I'm just being real honest. We don't have time, and we want to make something special. And you know what? We're gonna see what's up. You know what I mean? We're all here to do our work. And yeah, it's crazy. It's tough sometimes, but you know what? Let's do it. All right, guys. I'll see you all later, right? Peace.